So these are the original AirPods from 2016, and it is 2019. It is 3 years later. Apple just announced the new AirPods Pro, so I thought I'd just do like a recap video on these, the original AirPods, which I still use every day. I wanted to talk about some of my favorite things about the AirPods and also some of my least favorite things about them, and are they still worth it? Let's get into it. Greetings, Aqua fam. It is Ben Aqua. Thank you so much for joining me today. So the most important thing to me about any type of headphones is the sound quality. So I wanted to talk about that first. I have been really impressed with the sound quality on these. And one thing I really enjoy about these is it doesn't really boast the bass or the trebles to like some kind of artificial sounding tinniness or fatiguing bass where it almost gets like too much bass and you're like, God damn, what are you trying to do here? I actually really enjoy the sound on the original AirPods. It's not super dramatic, like they're not going to be the most crisp sounding headphones out there like a pair of Beats or something. There's a pretty good amount of bass and enough trebles to get by, and everything just sounds really smooth on these, and I really appreciate that kind of approach. They're a little bit easier on my ears and I can listen to them for longer periods of time. The only issue with listening to them for longer periods of time is the battery doesn't last super long anymore. They used to last about 3.5 to 4 hours on a single charge. 3 years later, I've noticed that the battery life has been the most significantly downgraded aspect of the AirPods. I use my AirPods maybe 2 to 3 hours per day, listening to music and podcasts and all kinds of stuff. I can tell you that I probably only get maybe a couple hours of usage out of the AirPods now on a single charge. It almost seems like less than 2 hours sometimes, but you just pop them in the case. And the good thing about the charging is they charge pretty quickly in the case, and you can even just charge it for like a few minutes and that'll get you another 30 minutes of listening time or something. I think that's actually pretty impressive for a pair of Bluetooth earbuds that are 3 years old that have undergone just years of abuse. So let's talk about build quality and design. So yeah, obviously these have the longer stems than the AirPods Pro that were just announced, and honestly I don't mind them as much as some people did when it comes to how long these are. And when you put these on your ears, you look like you have a damn toothbrush in your ear or some kind of tiny phallic object. I actually like that these designs are really functional, and I never really had a problem with them falling out of my ears unless, I was like laying in my bed or something listening to them and they might fall out because my ears get scrunched. A lot of people would complain about these popping out of their ears, and honestly, I haven't really experienced that as much as some people have, and I've even used these in the gym. And speaking of the gym, these are not my ideal headphones for using them in the gym because they basically really lightly go in your ear and you can hear almost everything that goes on around you. So that can come in handy if you don't want headphones that isolate the sound and noise and stuff of your environment around you. If you're running and you don't want to get hit by a damn car or something, these are pretty good for that. But if you want something that isolates the ambient noise around you, these are definitely not going to be the top recommendation from me. You're going to want something with like active noise canceling, which the new AirPods do have. But after 3 years, like I said, I've been abusing these pretty badly. I've even dropped them in water and stuff by accident. They've been in the rain, they've been in dust, and they still look almost brand new. This is amazing. This is one of the reasons why Apple stuff is so expensive, because you get what you pay for. I was a little weary at first when I was like, oh my God, $160 for these tiny ass headphones. Am I really gonna do that? What is wrong with me? I do notice more wear going on in the case, in the charging case. Like you can see there's a ton of scratching that has happened to the exterior of the case. On the back, there's like that little piece of metal here which collects fingerprints really well. It has a little scratching going on there. But overall, the locking mechanism still works. The magnets are still super strong. Whenever you want to charge them, it's just like so easy to just like pop them in and they just go in. They still feel, really strong in terms of the magnet. They're not going anywhere. The case still feels nice. I mean, it's just a really well-built product. What's also really cool about the AirPods design is they're pretty easy to clean. Like once you see a little gunk up in there, you can basically just take like a Q-tip with a little bit of alcohol and just rub it in there. They look almost brand new. I don't see anything gross, and it doesn't collect a lot of stuff in there. So the physical design is just done super well to me. And another thing about the design is they're just super lightweight, which I love. Like when they're in my ear, I don't feel like they're weighing me down or making my ears hot at all. They just feel like they're just floating in my ear. They feel a little artificial. They do feel like there's a piece of plastic dangling up in there, but I do prefer these over the ear headphones personally, and I love how lightweight and tiny they are. AirPods are super easy to travel with. You just pop them in the charge, you close the case, and they're very pocketable. I like how minimal the design is. Of course, there's the pairing button on the back. We got the lightning port to charge it. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the functionality. It just works really seamlessly. They actually pair pretty quickly with my devices, even though these are 3 years old and the Bluetooth technology is not as fancy as the newest ones or even the second generation AirPods. As soon as you take them out of the case, they pair almost immediately with the previously used device. It's just so convenient. And what I love about them too is if you get a new Apple device, these are linked to your iCloud account. When you open your new Apple device, you can pair these immediately with your new device once you sign into iCloud and all that stuff. And it just automatically recognizes these. You can start using them. It's seamless. It's very Apple. So the functionality has just been really easy, and I've been really impressed with just how simple it is. And I like that you can pair them with basically infinite amounts of Apple devices as long as those devices are all signed in to the same iCloud account. I have other pairs of headphones, like a cheaper pair of $30 Bluetooth earbuds that I use in the gym because they block out sound more than the AirPods do. But the problem with those is because they're not proprietary to the Apple ecosystem, they only pair to one device at a time. So you have to like unlink them and then pair them to your next device. And it becomes a little bit of a hassle. And AirPods are just so much easier to use, where you just take them out of the case and they'll either automatically pair with the last device, or you just pair them with another device, which usually takes, 3 to 5 seconds. Sometimes it'll take a little longer. Sometimes it won't pair at all with the second device, but you just kind of turn off Bluetooth, turn Bluetooth back on, and just try it again, and it usually works pretty well. I also wanted to talk about the price of these because I've been seeing used AirPods on eBay or Amazon or something for about $50 now, which is such a good deal considering the functionality and the pretty decent sound quality. So would I recommend the AirPods in 2019? And what do I think about AirPods Pro that were just announced? I would absolutely recommend the AirPods in 2019, especially if you're on a tighter budget. If you have like $50, $60, $70 lying around and you wanted to try out the AirPods within your matrix reality, I think that's a really good price considering how well these still work. But if you're buying them used, I would definitely ask the buyer, how long does the battery usually last? Are there any pairing issues? Just make sure you know what you're getting into before you buy them so you don't just get something that's like dead on delivery. But mine have been working really solid for the last 3 years. So yes, I would definitely recommend the AirPods, the first generation AirPods in 2019. They're still pretty reliable overall and the sound quality is great. And what do I think about them versus the AirPods Pro? First of all, if you're on a budget, you're going to want something cheaper like this because the new AirPods Pro come in at $250 US. Honestly, I'm probably going to try them out, even though that's a really expensive price. And I already have several pairs of Bluetooth headphones, but because I'm an Apple nerd, I'm probably going to try them out. $250 is a lot of money, but what the hell, YOLO. And I'm really curious about the new AirPods Pro because they have active noise cancellation and the stem on them is shorter. The sound quality is supposed to be improved. The case has a new design. The battery life is supposed to be a little bit better. Pairing is a little bit faster. Everything's faster, lighter, smaller, this and that, except for the case. The case on the new one is actually a bigger case. It's a shorter case, but it's also a wider case. It looks a little weird to me in photos, but I may just be really used to the original AirPods case, which still works super well. There's also something so satisfying about this noise. What is up with this clicky noise? Like sometimes I just open and close this when I'm just fidgeting. This is so satisfying. I'm just gonna do this for another hour and y'all are just gonna have to deal with that. Not really. Anyway, so that's my overview of the AirPods, the original first generation AirPods in 2019. So what do you think about the original AirPods? Do you still use these? Like, do you have the AirPods 2? Are you getting the AirPods Pro? Let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you all in there and I will see you there. If you have any questions about the AirPods, let me know in the comments as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. video. I definitely had fun making it. Be sure to like and subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next one. I could do this forever, I swear. Sorry, not sorry.